It's a lot of us taking care of everybody else except taking care of ourselves. And that's what I saw myself doing. I saw myself taking care of my kids. I was workaholic. I was taking care of my husband. I was taking care of my friends. I was taking care of my grown kids. And I wasn't taking care of me. I needed to change my life. I didn't want to live in fear anymore. I didn't want to worry anymore. I didn't want to live in panic or anxiety anymore. I wanted to make sure that I got back to who I really was, which was I'm happy, I'm joyful, I'm peaceful, I'm loving, I'm sassy, and I'm fun. Everybody needs somebody. Everybody needs somebody. I don't care who you are, what you're going through. When you are going through something and you're in the trenches of it, you feel like nobody else is going through what you're going through. And I promise you that is not true. That Zen life is whole health, wellness, and healing.
That Zen life is definitely recovery.
That Zen life es comunidad.
That Zen life is self-care.
Hey guys. Hey Simon.
Hey Priscilla. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. So, how has your week been since I last saw you?
Well, it's been a good week. It's been a good week in general. Things are going really well. It's been a little crazy here in DC, but before I get into that, how have you been?
I was just gonna ask you about that. I've been doing good. I'm still getting over the cold, as you can hear in my voice.
It's so good to have you back. Yeah.
Yes, thank you so much. It's so good to be back. It's so good to come and listen and talk about these awesome topics that are going on in our world. And for those of you who do not know me, my name is Priscilla Zeno. I am the healing partner. I am one of the co-hosts for our live today, brought to you by That Zen Life Wellness Foundation. And go ahead, Simon. Go ahead, Simon.
Was that my cue or no?
Yes.
And I'm Simon Tim. I'm the mindfulness ambassador. I'm the author of The Self-Salutation, and excited to be here with Priscilla on another Wednesday Wellness morning.
Yes. When we came on this morning, I was like, okay, I saw the picture that we had for our topic. And I was like, wow, this is really good, because when we kind of think about, mind games, that's sort of kind of like the elephant in the room that we don't even necessarily really talk about. We don't really talk about that. Like when people are playing mind games with us, we kind of typically just kind of slide that under the rug. It's like that hidden thing that we know it's there, but we just don't don't talk about it.
Yeah, it's hard to directly confront. Yeah, it's hard to really take that head on. Yeah.
Yes, yeah. And it seems as though, I guess we have, well, Of course, we have a lot going on with regards to that in the world right now.
Tell me about it.
Hey, Tanya Miles, she said, happy to be able to join you. We happy you're here, girl. Thank you so much for joining. We're talking about mind games and how we're kind of reflecting on a article and also in some of the news too, right, Simon?
Yeah. So I'm sure you saw the news, and you're not too far away. So, but about the Proud Boys coming into DC, there were 4 stabbings. They were burning Black Lives Matter signs, and of course chanting "Stop the Steal." And so it's a bit of mayhem and a bit scary. I mean, I'm sure you saw someone in state of Washington was shot by a Proud Boy, Trump supporter. So the things are right. Alex Jones, I don't know if you know Alex Jones, this InfoWars personality, said that Biden had to be taken out one way or another.
Yeah, so I'm just, I feel like, especially with regards to mental health, I really feel like, you know what I'm saying, I'm getting a little bit of feedback, I'm not sure why, but I feel like, as we've been moving in this space, right?
Yeah.
It's definitely take a toll. It's taking a toll for a while now. For those who just want peace. It's taking a real toll. And I'm talking about not just, okay, we know it's there. Like, yes, we know it's there, but it's stopping people from sleeping at night. And I know that one of the reasons why we have this democracy and everything, because it works. This is who we are. This is what America is. And so as we move kind of in a place of making sure that, we all take a stand by doing what we needed to do, which we did. We all showed up to vote. Yeah. And now to still be in this place, it bothers me mentally. It bothers me mentally. And I know that I'm not alone. But I wanted to kind of get more information from you to kind of hear what your standpoint on it was.
Yeah, well, I read this interesting article this weekend by someone. Yeah. No, you're not alone on this. It's stressful. Yeah, there's a woman named Amanda Marcotte. She wrote a book actually looking at the birtherism theory. Because so let me step back. I'm just like looking at these people stop this steal, and is their kind of main rallying cry in this event. And it's like, in Georgia, they recounted the vote 3 times. There's no steal in Georgia. Right. I think it's very clear how that went. Wisconsin, that was recounted. There were recounts. There's been case after case filed. You're going to tell me 50 cases that were thrown out were all just judges who were, just avoiding the truth here? By now, it's like, it's kind of mind blowing. How can they be chanting "Stop this steal"? And I read this article by Amanda Marcotte, and she was saying, actually pointing out what, may be obvious to many, which is that everyone knows who's trying to steal this.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead. Yeah, tell me.
No, I was just gonna say that I am all for what the way our democracy is set up, which is we have the right to peacefully voice how we feel, And there's
Sure.
nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
And so in that sense, I'm very supportive with whomever, no matter who it is, the Proud Boys
Sure.
or anyone else. I'm very supportive of being able to voice what you want to say, when you want to say it, so long as it doesn't cause harm to others. And that's where I am I don't have the tolerance for. And so I'm just really concerned now about how we're going to move forward, once, our new president takes office. And I'm sure that those who are, especially those who are challenged by mental health issues like anxiety, or being extremely overwhelmed in any sort of way. I'm sure that they are also concerned because, we're moving in this space now where, do you know the gun sales rate went up out the roof, and it's still going up. It's still going up. And so we have to figure out how we can kind of come back to a sense of calm. I know that, and they know, and anybody who has two eyes knows that all of the things that are going on right now have been fair, have been, we're talking about we've had, Republican and Democrats from both sides. Tanya said, I'm struggling with calling this home. It was made my transition back to the States. Oh, it's what made my transition back to the States very challenging. And for those of you who do not know, Tanya Mile is a veteran. You know what I'm saying? I mean, she serves in the military. So at the end of the day, I totally get that. And that's the thing that really ticks me off is that, we have, I don't even like actually saying Proud Boys. I know that I just said it, but I don't like saying it because at the end of the day, it's not the real definition of proud. Okay. The real definition of proud is, us taking care of one another, us standing up for one another. It's what my husband signed up to the military to do. I'm a retired Navy wife for 30 years. And at the end of the day, he signed up to fight for every single person in this country. And so, as we, begin to be in this space, I am struggling with where we are. So I'm really, really hoping that as we move into this new presidency, that there are going to be some precautions and some new laws and some new bills that will be coming about, because I feel like there's a lot of leniency here. There's too much leniency because at the end of the day, I feel like there is a space. This feels like gang members. That's what it feels like to me. And meanwhile, back at the ranch, while we are giving lots of long, hard jail time, prison time to people who are in gangs that are inactive. I'm not talking about the active gang members. I'm talking about the inactive gang members that we are giving long, hard time to. All right. And we're not giving time to these people that are terrorizing people. They're terrorizing people. Yeah. And if you're terrorizing people, even mentally, that's the mind game that you talked about. It's a terrorization of, mental mind games can still be terrorizing. You know?
Yeah, so, absolutely. Yeah, we're in a scary situation. There's no kind of, it's not like the transition to a Biden administration is going to necessarily dial things down a little bit. I mean, it's going to help. Yeah. Assuming that it happens peacefully and everything. But there's a lot of hatred and that's been stoked up here. Yeah, and I think what was really interesting about this article that Amanda Marcotte wrote was that she was saying, she referred to the birtherism movement and studies that were done on the birther people who adhere, believed or espoused that the birther conspiracy around Obama, and it turns out that among that half of the people that were out there saying like, oh yeah, he wasn't born in the US, half of those people, these studies showed, actually didn't believe it, actually knew that it was completely false. Knew that, they're out there, railing against, railing that, he wasn't born, and they knew it was bad faith. They knew that perfectly well that he was born in the U.S.
Well, I think,
and that's a mind game. That's a mind game on the rest of us, and that's why these people that are out there rallying "Stop this Steal," that know perfectly well that they're the ones trying to steal the election, are doing this, are kind of creating this web of illusion and which and this is really important, and the point that David brought out, and or maybe you had mentioned, David brought out yesterday, when he poignantly asked, so why? Why are they doing this?
Oh yeah. No, he mentioned go ahead.
Racism.
Right.
Yeah, they're doing this because they know that it's not acceptable for them to go out and burn a cross on the anymore. It's not acceptable for them to go out in their KKK clothes, and so so they sort of they cloak themselves in this fake cause. It's not a real cause.
Well, we think when Tanya said, I now work in mental health and am on committees to include racial stress as part of our assessment. I think that this is so freaking awesome because we need more of this, because at the end of the day, one of the other things that, when we were in our production meeting and we were talking, one of the other things that David said was, he said, this is not like a new thing. This thing's been going on for a while, and even though it's going on for a while, it's like, we need to figure out, okay, well, what's, what should we be sharing that's going to allow folks to understand that we know that it's not new. We know that mind games aren't new. It doesn't matter if it's, the supporters of fake news, or if it's someone telling you, they love you when you know they don't. Or if it's someone who says, I'm your friend, and all of their actions show something different. It doesn't matter if it's someone who says, you know what, I got your back, and they really don't. You know what I'm saying? I'm so happy for you, and they really aren't. All of that is the same thing as mind games. We just have to figure out, how do we get to that other place? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I do. And I think that's when I'm looking at it, this is a huge societal issue here, but that's the fact that you brought out how this is something that we also deal with on an individual basis here, on a personal basis, relating with people in our lives that are playing mind games with us, and it's there. It could be anyone. It could be a coworker. I've had coworkers that were like really amazing at playing mind games and, kind of skewing reality.
Yes.
You walk out of a meeting and you're just like, what? I don't know. What is reality?
Right.
How did that happen?
Right. What is going on?
It could be your relationship with your family. It could be someone in your intimate relationship. I grew up in a dysfunctional household, and there were some mind games going on when I was growing up. So
yeah. And also too, when you think about it, Simon, ultimately, the one thing that I feel like we don't want to ever admit as human beings is that we all play mind games at some point in time. Either if it's to protect ourselves because we know the other person's playing mind games, or if it's to get what it is that we think we need, we'll play mind games. Playing the victim, that's a mind game. Right?
Speak it.
I'm just saying, like, there's so many things that we do also. So it's like, when I see this kind of behavior, you know what I'm saying, towards the new president, and I see this type of behavior, what I understand is that this is a deep-rooted pain in them that they have to try to clear out. We all have to do our part in healing ourselves, because in some form or fashion, we try to do things or manipulate, or, if we feel like it's something that we need to do to protect ourselves or to get what it is that we need, which is not cool at all.
Yeah.
So how do we really how do we get back to a place of like trying to fix that though? Like, how do we do that? And how do we connect with the people that you're talking about? That, you know what I'm saying? Like, what's the next step with regards to like kind of, when you remember I told you that I had somebody, that is kind of really on this wavelength.
Yeah.
And I was saying to you, like, I know what stand I take. I don't have the energy for it.
Yeah.
So you can have a conversation all day, but I'm going to take 10 steps back and let you have that conversation by yourself, because I don't want to. But tell us, Simon, what do you think? I mean, I know you've studied in this field before.
Yeah. So here's the thing. I have I have a 4-step process that I want to chalk out, to dealing. And this is, we're stepping back here from the big picture of dealing with, racists in the street chanting "Stop the Steal," when what they really mean is that they want to steal the election. So we're stepping back from that and just looking at, one-on-one, someone in your life who's playing mind games, how to respond to them. And in those scenarios, I have, a 4-step process that I recommend. But I think before we get into that, it may be time for us to pay some bills.
Yes. All right. Let's pay some bills. All right. See you guys in the next 15 seconds. And we are, for those of you who do not know, we are talking about how we are being, what should I say, Simon? How we are.
How to cope with people who are playing mind games.
Yes, how to cope. Right. Exactly. So yeah. Simon is going to give us some tips on, what we should be doing. Ty and Miles said, wait. Sorry, that was too quick. I can't. Thank you. What are suggestive collective responses to this open bullying? Okay. Yes, I do. I connect with that. She said, our children are watching how we deal with bullying. We are demonstrating that we are just as helpless. I just said this to you the other day, didn't I, Simon? I said, okay, so Simon is about to break down some things because Simon studied in this field before. But when Simon and I were talking, I had said to Simon, there's two spaces that people are going to move in. There's the space where people are going to move into the, you know what I'm saying? Just, turn the other cheek and keep it moving. And then there are other people that are going to be like, you know what? I'm going to fight like hell. And, so I think that it's good for us to get these steps, and I'm ready to hear the process that you're talking about.
And the steps that I have to share, I personally, I believe there's a time for both of those responses, or a place for both of those responses. I'm not, that's a personal, individual choice that I'm not weighing in on, but I think that within everyone is the right wisdom about what is the right response for you. It's just a question of tapping into it. And so the 4 steps that I lay out, the first step is stepping back and grounding yourself in reality. Okay, because as I mentioned, sometimes your head can just, you could, when someone's, spinning out a ton of illusion and deception, it can mess with you. It can mess with you, and so it's necessary to take a minute and kind of clear yourself of that deception and ground yourself in reality. And of course, meditation is a really powerful way of doing that. Taking a few minutes, 3 minutes of meditation can bring you into a state where you kind of draw yourself away from the conflict a little bit and start to see things for what they are. Okay. So step number 1 is to ground yourself into reality, to pull out of their web of illusion and really get in touch with your own heart of hearts.
So quick question with step number 1 though. So grounding yourself in reality, you're talking about us making sure that we are grounded in what's really going on versus tapping into what the person who is playing mind games is doing. That's what you're saying?
Yeah. I what I mean is really pulling back from the intensity of some engagement, even your feelings about it, and just coming back to yourself and returning to yourself in meditation so that you can see things sort of for what they are.
And for who they are. Yeah. Absolutely. And step number 2 is really, really important here. And step number 2 is tending to your retaliatory feelings. So
this, there's all kinds of rage, anger, fear, punitive desires come up. There's a way where when there's something, especially when people are playing mind games with you, when people are just messing with reality, there's a way that it can draw out a real inner rage.
Yeah, most definitely, especially when you've been going through and experiencing racism in any form or any kind of discriminative experience for a very long time, gay, straight, it doesn't matter. If you've been experiencing, any of that for a very long time, you do tend to go into rage mode. You do. Yeah. So, I mean, I totally get step number 2. And so as you're talking about tending to the retaliatory feelings, can you give, when we go into this meditative state, what should we be kind of really focusing on, kind of tapping into within ourselves?
Yeah. So the feelings of anger and fear, Tanya mentioned how people are having their lives threatened. There's a lot of fear about what could happen. So feelings of fear and anger are natural responses. They're definitely going to be happening, but it's a question of how to tend to them. Right?
Yeah.
And so if you just try and clamp them down and don't allow yourself to recognize them and feel them for a moment, let them sort of have a moment in the sun, that's when they can spark outbursts.
Yeah. We hear you, Tanya. We know that even public officials are being threatened right now. And so I'm hoping that a lot of these tips that Simon's giving us is going to help. David said, with my temper being a major area of my recovery, these recent social issues are hard to deal with. I know. Yes, I think we all are feeling that. I mean, Simon said in a couple of lives ago, he was like, I'm a white dude and I'm feeling it. So it's real for everybody. So Simon, what about step number 3? What's step number 3?
So once you've tended to your anger, your hatred, then it's time this is where a lot of the healing comes in, is to fill yourself with a felt sense of dignity and worth. Because the thing is that we all have feelings of there's a part in our hearts where we doubt our own self-worth. And so it's necessary for us to spend time just actually cultivating your own sense of dignity and worth, so that there's a difference between standing your ground with someone who's messing with you and messing with reality, and just fighting back because you're pissed off at them. Right.
Yeah. And then I know that, there is going to be a bit of a challenge with that sometimes because, oh my gosh, there's so much feedback. I know it's going to be a bit of a challenge with that because of the fact that, we know that, we are worthy. and we know that we have dignity. But when you feel like your self-worth and your dignity is trying to be stripped from you, it's like you kind of almost lose the dignity to hold on to, oh no, you won't try to take my work. So yeah, I totally get that. So now what's step 4?
Step 4 is then drawing your lines, setting your boundaries. When and this is it's like once you've processed your anger, once you've gotten in really genuine touch with your own sense of worth, then when someone's playing mind games with you, you can sit down. You're not going to sort of the problem with having rage and anger that's right under the surface is it makes it so hard to set boundaries without, as I said, lashing out at someone. But once you've worked on your own fear or anger, and once you've once you've taken some time and really felt your own worth and dignity, then when you step forward and set your boundaries with someone, there's just a matter of factness about it, where it's not like you're looking to kind of tear them down. There's no doubt about it. You're just asserting, and that's why I use the elephant as a symbol for this. Although I love your take on the elephant in the room. So because the elephant's a massive animal. They eat a literally ton of food every day. But no one can really kind of complain about that because they're just eating what's their due, So you can, when you're taking up your space in the world out of a sense of dignity, it's a different state from fighting against someone because you're bitterly angry at them and you're wanting to just take them down because of their opposition.
Yes.
And so that's the 4th step.
I like it a lot. I think what I'm saying, it's a great sorry guys, I think it's a great introduction to some ways that we can kind of move forward, and I often get very upset when I think about the people that are being still oppressed during this time. After all that our ancestors have been through, after all that people have done to fight for justice and, after all of that, we're still dealing with the same BS. And it's affecting everyone. It's affecting my kids mentally. It affects my husband every time he gets in the car. And now, before it was like, okay, we have a reservation with, that law enforcement, not all law enforcement, but that law enforcement that is going out of their way to do too much. And now we have to be concerned about them and this other set of group that are openly racist or discriminative, openly, with no problems. And I just feel like, now this is the time for us to really use all of the steps that you talked about. But one thing that I love that you said, Simon, one thing that I love that you said was, you said, I'm not here to weigh in on what someone else should be doing. Because at the end of the day, what that says is that we aren't telling people what to do. We're giving people the tools for what it is that you might need in order to get through the process. Ultimately, it's everybody's decision on what it is that you're going to do at the time that you're in a position. That's what it is. Everybody has to make their own decision about what they're going to do and how they're going to do it when they're in a certain situation, when someone's playing mind games, and how we're going to respond. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, we're just here to provide the tools that we can get through it. So, Simon, is there a meditation or something that you want to give us today? Because I mean, this topic fuels me so much, and I would love to do something that's going to kind of help free me, like kind of help. I know that it's there and it's going to be there, but I can't carry that weight every day. Not if I'm going to try to take care of me, and not if I'm going to try to take care of my husband and the people that I want to help with regards to their healing process. So what can we do? What kind of meditation or something? Do you have something today that we can do?
Yeah, I'd love to share one. And actually, what I do is I do these 4 steps as in meditation. Mm-hmm. And go through these in a way to where in a meditative state you kind of go through each of these steps, and in this way process and release the negative feelings and so.
Okay, all right.
So are we ready? Should I step into that?
Yeah, I think you should. Okay. Let's get into it.
Okay. All right. So let's begin first of all by stretching yourself a little bit wherever you're seated, rolling your neck, stretching your arms, your back, rolling your shoulders, and then get yourself in a comfortable position, and let's take a few deep breaths. So fill your lungs full of as much air as you can in a deep breath, and then breathe out through your mouth with a great sigh, just letting go of everything. So breathing in through your lungs, filling your lungs with as much air as possible, and then breathing out. So in a minute, I'm going to offer some prompts, and I invite you to close your eyes, continue to focus on your breathing in and breathing out. And as I offer these prompts, I invite you to repeat the prompts to yourself within your own mind, so that you're really coming in touch with your own desire for each of these steps. I'm now setting my intention to lift my consciousness to the highest state that's possible for me in this moment in time. With every inhale, I rise my consciousness higher and higher. I am now lifting my consciousness to the highest state possible for me in this moment in time. I am now releasing all of the fear and anger that is within my heart. I'm calling forth these feelings of fear, anger, frustration. I see them within me and I release them all. I'm calling forth all the strength I have within me to see the presence of fear and anger and to release those feelings from my heart. I am now letting go of the burden of trying to retaliate, and I'm releasing these negative feelings from my heart. With every inhale that I take in now, I am now setting my intention to fill myself with a felt experience of my own inherent worth and dignity. With each breath that I take in, I fill myself with a deep sense of my unlimited, profound worth. Now I invite you to focus again on your breath, just allowing the breath to come in and to go at its own pace. And when you're ready, you can slowly open your eyes.
Wow. Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right. Well, I just want to say thank you, everybody. First of all, thank you, Simon, for that awesome meditation.
Thank you, Priscilla.
That was so amazing. And for those of you who haven't had a chance to really kind of connect with that meditation, you can always come back to this live here. We're on Facebook, we're on YouTube. But you can always come back here and just take your time and really, really connect with the words, But for those of you who don't know me, my name is Priscilla Zeno. I am the healing partner. I'm also the author of I Am Healing: The 7 Secrets to Wellness and Self-Care. And I am here with my co-host, Simon.
Hi, I'm Simon Tim. I am the mindfulness ambassador, and I'm the author of The Self-Salutation, and it's an honor and a pleasure to be here with you and to be here with you, Priscilla. Thanks so much.
All right, we'll see you guys next week on Wednesday. Same bat time, same bat channel. See you guys later. Bye-bye. Be well. Rock on.
That Zen life is whole health, wellness, and healing.
That Zen life is definitely recovery.
That Zen life es comunidad.
That Zen life is self-care.